Let's talk Oregon Ducks recruiting because it has been a crazy weekend for Oregon. On Friday, news that top 10 quarterback Jonas Williams was flipping his commitment from Oregon to USC. But fear not, Duck fans, Dan Lanning has a plan, and we got Oregon insider Max Torres from Scoop Duck on this video. He's going to break down how Lanning and his staff got their eye on the real prize, and that's number one quarterback Jared Curtis. But first, Oregon fans, do me a favor. Hit subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. This is the best recruiting channel on all of YouTube, and we love talking Oregon recruiting. So jump on board for me. All right, let's bring in Max Torres from Scoop Duck. And before we get to Jared Curtis, I need you to settle a debate right here in the comment section that has been raging since Friday. Did Oregon let Jonas Williams go, or did USC flip him? Please settle this for us.
This is always that trending question after a big flip like this, especially between two rivals, right? And really, I don't think this is a situation of Oregon letting Jonas Williams go. You don't let a top 10 quarterback leave. I don't think that was a situation that we're looking at here. And just off of that, I think you got to give USC some credit here because they did a good job making sure that they were staying on Jonas Williams. I know that Lincoln Riley went out to the state of Illinois to go visit Williams' school during the January contact period, as did Oregon here. I don't think Oregon made any bad moves in this recruitment. They were doing what they were supposed to, but USC has done a great job recruiting quarterbacks, so I think you have to give them their flowers when it's due. He went out for that junior day visit in Los Angeles. I don't believe he made the Oregon junior day, which was just the weekend before that. So that this is a big commitment for Lincoln Riley and the Trojans. The Ducks and the Trojans are battling neck and neck at number one spot. And I think the biggest thing I would just want to say coming out of this is I think that Chad Bowden played a huge deal in USC being able to get this one done. Obviously, the new big hire from the front office coming over from Notre Dame. He's a Midwest guy. Jonas Williams is a Midwest guy. So, I cover Oregon, but I got to give people props when it's due, and that was a great job by the Trojans.
All right, I'm sure that settles the debate in the comment section. I'm sure you just figured it all out for them. All right, but that clears way for maybe what the main event here. Number one quarterback Jared Curtis is down to a final two. It's Georgia, it's Oregon. Max, how did Oregon make the cut as a finalist?
Oregon's done a great job staying in the mix here with Jared Curtis. I want to say he visited in the spring of last year. They got him back on campus for the game against Maryland in November, and they've just stayed the course here. And I'm pretty sure that they went out to go see him during the January contact period as well. Not everybody is super active on posting all those visits on social media, right, Josh? But we know that with how big of a priority Jared Curtis is for Will Stein and the rest of this Oregon offensive staff, that it makes sense to reason that they made sure to get out and see him at some point during that January contact period. So they've really just stayed consistent here. They've gotten him on campus for a couple of visits. They've kept strong communication with him throughout the whole process. And I think that they've always let him know that he's got a spot out there in Eugene should he want it. And I don't think that there's much of a coincidence at all here that Jonas Williams flips on Friday. And then right on the heels of that, we got Oregon in some positive headlines battling Georgia here for the number one quarterback in the 2026 class.
Yeah. So it's early. We don't know when he's going to make the decision, but right now with the news coming out that he's down to two, who are you giving the edge to?
That's a really good question. I think with Jared Curtis, I'm going to give Oregon the slight edge here just because we've seen this Jonas Williams development coming for a little while now. So I know that the staff has been diligently working behind the scenes, and the buzz for Jared Curtis in Oregon has never really died down throughout this entire process since he decommitted from Georgia. I can't remember exactly when that happened, but I knew that happened. And then he named Oregon his leader. And It seems like the buzz has really only gotten stronger for Oregon and Jared Curtis. And even though the Ducks lost a top 10 quarterback in Jonas Williams, I think that they're still just about as hot as any program in the country now nationally. I think we also have to talk about the NFL Combine, which comes up later this month. The Ducks are going to send a program record 12 prospects to Indianapolis, to Lucas Oil Stadium to take their shot at the NFL. So I think having Dylan Gabriel out there, he might surprise some people. And what Will Stein has done with quarterbacks these past couple of years has been pretty undeniable.
Yeah. All right. So you're giving it to Oregon right now. Now, we know that he's got these summer official visits, one to Georgia, one to Oregon. What do you think the Ducks need to do between now and that summer official visit to secure this top spot in his recruitment? On3 is honored to announce the next stop of the Next Greatest Generation Tour at Prospect High School in Mount Prospect, Illinois. In partnership with the Army National Guard, we are proud to recognize Prospect High School as a Team of the Year for their unwavering commitment to community service and leadership. The Prospect Knights have made it their mission to positively impact their community through countless service initiatives. The team has embraced the responsibility of giving back, offering players opportunities to serve and consistently highlight their efforts to inspire others. Whether it's through volunteering, mentorship, or outreach programs, the Knights have shown that leadership extends far beyond the game. Their dedication to making a difference reflects the true spirit of the next greatest generation. So please join us in congratulating Prospect High School on this well-deserved honor, and we look forward to celebrating the Knights and their incredible contributions this Tuesday in Mount Prospect as part of the Next Greatest Generation Tour.
I think between now and then, you just got to stay the court. I mean, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I think consistency for a prospect of his caliber plays a really big role. And you want to continue building this 2026 class. I think you got to recruit the heck out of some of these receivers that they are recruiting. You're looking at Chris Henry. You're looking at Caden Dixon-Wyatt, two of the best in the country from modern day. They're both going to be taking official visits out to Oregon. Yeah. So maybe it would help Oregon if you get a receiver commit or two before then, and try to shore up the trenches a bit more with some of these big offensive linemen that they're after. Jackson Cantwell, Emmanuel Ahianacho. So there's a lot of guys that you can bolster this class with, but just making sure that you are keeping in that strong communication with Curtis and making all the right moves as a program. I think that's about what you can do right now.
Is it imperative? And I guess I asked this because of location. Nashville to Athens is about 3.5, maybe 4 hours on a high traffic day. So we got to imagine that he's going to make it to a spring practice or two in Athens. So is it imperative that Oregon gets him on an unofficial this spring before that OV?
I would say so. I think that would certainly help their case. Along those lines, I think it helps that as of right now, Oregon's supposed to get him on campus for an official visit before Georgia. And then it becomes that debate of, do you want the first visit, the last visit? What's most beneficial? I think that the popular answer to that question is that you want the last visit closest to the decision. And that obviously bodes well for Georgia. But maybe for Oregon here, because they are so far across the country, they don't want to waste any time, and they want to get him back on campus. Like, hey, let's try to lock this one down. Maybe we look at a situation where it goes so well that he just pulls the trigger and commits after the official visit and doesn't even make it back to Athens. That's not what I'm being told, but I think that all possibilities are on the table now, and there's still a lot of good runway in this recruitment.
All right. So what other QBs are on Oregon's board right now?
Right now in the 2026 class, you're mainly looking at Jared Curtis and Ryder Lyons, the elite quarterback out of Folsom, California, Northern California. This dude is must-see TV every Friday night, Josh. I've seen him in person a number of times, and he's just got ridiculous arm talent, is incredibly gifted, and I've been told that this is a guy that Oregon thinks they can go win a national championship with. So they've done a tremendous job recruiting both Ryder Lyons and Jared Curtis in the 2026 class, but we know there's obviously that wrinkle with Lyons planning to take that mission trip. But we got Oregon, and then I also see BYU and Ole Miss as two big programs at the forefront of his recruitment. He got some new offers from Ohio State, North Carolina, Arizona in the month of January. So those are some programs to keep an eye on. I think that Ryder Lyons recruitment has been one with a lot of twists and turns. I know that USC was the presumed leader at that point. They have my RPM pick right now, but I think that I would probably think that Oregon has a really good shot there with Ryder Lyons, who may be kind of a de facto 2027 quarterback just with his timeline. But everyone wants Ryder Lyons, and I know Oregon's right at the top of that list as well.
What type of impact would landing a Jared Curtis type recruit have on Oregon's already number one ranked class?
It'd be huge. It obviously really helps to have an elite top tier quarterback to kind of build your class around and serve as the face of your class. But I can't really say build anymore because they already have 9 commitments here in February. So they are off to a tremendous start here in the 2026 cycle. I think that's a big difference from previous years that I've seen covering Oregon, is their ability during the 2025 cycle to recruit 2 classes simultaneously. And now they're at a point where you got to keep your guys in the fold Obviously lost one in Jonas Williams, but if you can keep those guys in the fold and then be selective and add some really elite talent like a Jared Curtis or a Ryder Lyons, you're looking pretty good.
Yeah, honestly. Oregon fans, talk to Max and I. Who do you think Jared Curtis is going to pick? Is he going to be a dog or is he going to be a duck? Let us know. Comment section below.